So let's continue, because we gotta look at this, because a lot of people look at this Galatians, the 3rd chapter, as representing other nations, but we're still dealing with Israel. You see? When you go back to Galatians 1 and 3 and 4, let's look at it. Grace be to you and peace from the Most High, the Father, and from our power, Mashayach, Yahawashi, who gave himself for our sins. See? We went over this. That he might deliver us from this present evil world, according to the will of the Most High and our Father. And that really can relate to now. We need to be delivered from this present evil and wicked world. You see? So we went to Acts 5, 30 and 31 showed you that it said repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. So that's our sins in verse 4. It's talking about the Israelites. See, you got to understand this. So look at verse 15. But when it pleased the Most High, who separated me from my mother's womb and called me by his grace to reveal his Son in me, that I might preach him among the heathen, immediately I conferred not with flesh and blood. This is what Paul is telling. He conferred not with flesh and blood. So when you look at it, Israel had to be preached to where? Among the heathen. Why? Because look at Deuteronomy 24 and 64. We know 28 and 64. Salaki. Excuse me. 28 and 64. And the Most High shall scatter thee. This is part of the curses. From verse 15 all the way to 68. This is what it says. And the Most High shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there, when you be scattered among these nations, thou shalt serve other gods, which is other idols, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. You see? Deuteronomy 4:27. Deuteronomy 4 and 27. And the Most High shall scatter you among the nations. That's another, you call them heathens. And ye shall be left few in number among the heathen. See? Whither the Most High shall lead you. So you see? That's why he said you got to talk to us where? Among the heathen. As it is today. Still applies to today too, because when we go out, our job pretty much is like Paul's. We got to gather Israel, the Israelites from where? From among the heathen, these other nations. Another one is Leviticus 26 and 33. And I will scatter you among the heathen, see? And will draw out a sword after you. Sword is to bring death. And your land shall be desolate, as it is today, and your cities waste, just like you see over there right now in Israel. Here we are. So, that's what we're subject to. Going back to Galatians. And 18. For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more of promise, but the Most High gave it to Abraham by promise. He promised it to us. That's why he said even those that don't follow, he could bring them into to our own idolatry. Wherefore then soweth the law? It was added because of transgression, because of sins, till the seed should come to whom the promise was made. And it was ordained by angels in the hand of a mediator. See? So the seed to come who the promise was made, we already showed you in Romans. The promise was made to who? Romans the 9th chapter. The 4th verse. Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory. The adoption is being adopted back to the Most High when the Mashayach gave up the Spirit. And the glory of the kingdom that's coming to Israel. And the covenants given to who? Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel. And the giving of the law, I mean, all this was given to Israel. And the service of the Most High, he said, you only know Israel. So he can't serve anybody else. He can't be the service of the Most High can't come from anyone else or to anyone else. He said, we know Israel. And the promises, see? This is what he promises. That's why when you understand the intents of how, you know, people read this and it's like, oh, we're not going back into bondage and so forth. But how do you go in bondage when you're dealing with, you went to bondage for what? Why do we go into captivity? We went into captivity doing the opposite of what the churches teach. And that's not keeping the laws of the Most High. I mean, look at it. He told Deuteronomy 28:15. They try to say, oh, why you want to go into bondage? By doing what? Doing what the Most High say, do, that's right. How's that bondage? Listen, that's what the Christian, so-called Christian, like to say. This is what he told us in Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken, mean listen, to the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe, to do. Not to only read them and learn them, but to do them. You got to learn them, live them, and apply them in your life. That's why he say, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statute which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So they got it twisted. The curses or going into bondage happened to us because we didn't do what he said do. And it's 9/11. We didn't do what he said do. That's why we're in the condition that we're in now. Not because we done what he's supposed to do. They're gonna tell you you don't want to be in bondage. You don't want to do what the Most High. That's what they saying. I don't want to do what the Most High say. That's why I look. Deuteronomy 9:11. Excuse me, Daniel's 9:11. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law. See, and all is a certain number. Even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us. You see that? They talking about you're going to go into bondage if you follow the laws of the Most High. That's contrary to what we're going through and what you should understand. Look, yeah, all Israel has transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned, which is breaking the laws of the Most High, against him. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. Yeah. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem, as it is written in the law of Moses. All this evil is come upon us. Yet made we not our prayer before the Most High our power, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth, which is the law. Psalms 119, 142 all day long. Thy righteousness and everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. See? But the only way you're going to turn from unrighteousness is to be righteous and follow his law, which is the truth. Simple. And that's what we have to look at. Point blank, no ifs and buts about it. That's just the way it is. I hope y'all follow me. Y'all following the spirit, I might say. It's very important. I know it's a little deep, but look at Romans 4 and 13. No, 16. Romans 4 and 16. Therefore it is of faith, that it might be by grace, which grace is getting something you don't deserve, to the end the promise might be sure to all the seed, not to that only which is of the law, but to that also which is of the faith of Abraham, who is the father of us all. You see? Still talking about Israel, because the promise, say, might be sure to all the seed. See? Excuse me. To the end, the promise might be sure to all the seed. All of Israel. Remember? We need to keep going back to the Romans 9 and 4. The promise given to the Israelites. To the Israelites. That's what the promise was given to. But see, you're looking at Israel that was like, and just like it is today, some feel like we're better than those that don't know. We're the circumcised, and they're the uncircumcised. We follow the law from birth. They out there, they're the heathen. The Israelites were called heathen. When you scatter among the heathen, you become heathen. That's why I look at Psalms 106 and 35. See, I mean, this all here is just a matter of understanding what we did. We became Hellenized. This is what I mean. We took on the ways and the customs of the nations that we were in captivity under. Psalms 106 and 35. But were mingled among the heathen. Here go heathen again. These other nations. And learn their works. So you learn their works, you become what? Heathens too. There's a lot of you out there, heathens. Because you're following the ways and the customs of the people that's have us in captivity. Or had us in captivity. You look at, we went from captivity to captivity to captivity to captivity over and over again. So when you left out of captivity, what'd you take? You took the ways of the heathen. He told us in Jeremiah 10 and 2, learn not the ways of the heathen. What we do? We were mingled among the heathen and learn the works and learn their works. And they served their idol, which was a snare, a trap unto them. See? That's what we did. Now to this day, ain't no different, ain't no new under the sun. We still doing the same old thing. Same thing. When we gonna learn? Go back to Galatians. Galatians. Look at this, Galatians 2 and 9. And when James, Cephas, and John, who seemed to be pillars, perceived the grace that was given unto me. Remember, grace is getting something you don't deserve. They gave to me and Barnabas, Paul and Barnabas, the right hands of fellowship, that we should go unto the heathen, and they unto the circumcision. See? So what is he calling Israel? Is Paul going to these other nations? No, he's going to the Israelites. We just read in Galatians. We don't need to go over that again. I mean, I went over it twice, so you should understand that he's talking to the Israelites. He said our sins. See? So, but he's calling them heathen. Like I was telling you, he calling the ones that knew, like Peter and them, he said, we should go unto the heathen, and they unto the circumcision. See? The circumcision are the ones that follow the laws. They knew about the faith of the Mashayach. Paul's job was to teach from the beginning, from scratch. Remember, Mashayach said he's going to suffer for Baal Shama Mashayach in the name of the Lord Savior, because he was the one that was putting people to death, having them put to death for Baal Shama Mashayach. That's why he said in Galatians 2 and 18. See, for if I build again the things which I destroyed, I make myself a transgressor. That's what he was destroying. Those that was calling on Baal Shama Mashayach in the name of the Lord Savior. Why? Through the law, am dead to the law, that I might live unto the Most High. I am crucified with Mashayach, nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Mashayach liveth in me. In the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of the Most High, Mashayach, who loved me and gave himself for me. That's a whole other twist. That was a whole other twist from Saul. That's why when you look at, you want to condemn somebody and you think you all that, and somebody, whoever it is that you meet, you figure that they're not worthy, you're going to understand who you talking about. I ain't seen nobody bad as Saul, man. This dude was, he was right there when Stephen got killed. Saul was right there. See, look, go to Acts 9th chapter, the first verse. And Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of the Most High, went unto the high priest, and desired of him letters to Damascus, to the synagogues, that if he found any of this way, teaching by Yahawashi, whether they were men or women, he might bring them bound to Jerusalem. See? And that's when the Yahawashi met him and converted him. That was when he started to convert him. Listen. Verse 15. But the Most High said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles, and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things he must suffer for by Mashayach. See? Talking about Saul. See, when certain people seen Saul, whose name was changed to Paul, they was fighting because you see he was on a journey to bring those men and women that call on the name of the Mashayach to death. That's right. So who you know like that? Everybody know about in the name of Jesus Christ. Who putting people to death for that? Look at this. Go to Ezekiel 20. Ezekiel 20 and 31. For when you offer your gifts, when you make your sons to pass through the fire, you pollute yourself with all your idols, even to this day. And shall I be inquired of by you, O house of Israel? As I live, said the Most High Power, I will not be inquired of by you. That means they was dealing with idolatry. That's what I'm saying. We didn't read it, but we can go back to it. How the Most High, this is what Israel was doing. Look what Israel was doing. We go back to Psalms 106 and 37. Psalms 106 and 37. It said, yeah. Remember he said we will mingle among the heathen and learn their works? It said, yeah. Verse 37. They sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. That's what they defiled with their own works, and went a-whoring with their own inventions. See? That's why the Most High saying what he's saying to us. Ezekiel 20, 31. For when you offer your gifts, when you make your sons to pass through the fire, you pollute yourselves with all your idols, even to this day. And shall I be inquired of by you? Shall you inquire of me? Are you, O house of Israel? As I live, said the Most High Power, I will not be inquired of by you. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all. And you say, we will be as the heathen. See? As the families of the countries to serve wood and stone. But see, the Most High said He's going to do that to us. Here we are accepting it. With all these different religions and so forth that people are believing in. Wood and stone, ain't nothing but Semiramis and Nimrod. All these religions. Going back to Semiramis and Nimrod. And when you see the Pope with a so-called Black Madonna and the little baby child, that don't represent Mary and the Mashayach. That's Semiramis and Nimrod and their little son named Tammuz. That's what you're looking at. Majority of the time. But see, here it is. That which cometh into your mind shall not be at all that ye say, we will be as the heathen. That's why they were called heathen. That's why we had to go among the heathen to get the heathens, who are Israelites. We will be like the heathen, as the families of the countries to serve wood and stone. See? That's what we're doing, people. And that's what we're doing today. Same thing. Same thing. Same exact thing. Until we really realize that we got to come out of how we have been. But how are you going to come out of how we have been if you don't know how we have been to be different than how we were, so that you can become a new creature, be born again, become a new man or a new woman. This is how it works. So you don't do this, repeat the same thing over and over and over and over again. So you coming together. He's going to bring us together, whether we like it or not. We are coming together right there, right in the face of our oppressors and those that are of our own nation that are the children of the devil. That's all they are. If you don't want righteousness on this earth, you're the devil. That's what we're talking about. Righteousness. Look. I ain't got to tell you. Let me just show you. We're talking about a righteous kingdom. Listen. Isaiah 60 and 21. It says, thy people also shall be all righteous. Hear that? They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planet, it's the Most High going to do. The branch of his planet. The work of my hands, that I may be glorified. See? Righteousness. A kingdom that's righteous. Come on. You don't want this. You don't want this. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Jump to verse 18. Listen what it says. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land. Read it again. It says, violence shall no more be heard in thy land. That's why this is worth it. Wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. See? This is what we're talking about. Isaiah 61. And verse 6. But ye shall be named the priests of the Most High. Men shall call you the ministers of our power. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles. He's talking about the other nations. Remember I told you there's two different types of Gentiles. And Gentile only means nation. So it says, ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves. You see? For your shame ye shall have double. So what we going through now, we're going to have double. And for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double. Hear that? That's what's the good news. Everlasting joy shall be upon unto them. By the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, love judgment. I hate robbery by burnt offerings, and I will direct their work in truth, according to the law. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them. and their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, among these other nations, and their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which the Most High have blessed. I will greatly rejoice in the Most High. My soul shall be joyful in my power, for he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation, power, wisdom, and authority forever. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness, his laws. As a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, you plant something in the earth and it comes forth, and as the garden causes the things that are sown in it to spring forth, so the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob will cause righteousness. The Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob shall cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations. You hear that? So anybody that don't want this is wicked as ever. They don't deserve this. They're not going to see this. Everybody should want to see this. Say he gonna have righteousness spring up before all the nations. See? That's our future. But he also gives us something to recall too. In Ezekiel 33 and 31. Ezekiel 33 and 31. And they come unto thee as a people coming. I think a lot of you come. A lot of you listening. And they sit before thee as my people. Sit before us as Most High's people. And they hear thy words. They hear words. They hear the words. But they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love. But their heart goeth after their covetousness. The things they desire. It don't fit their personality, their character, their emotions, their feelings, and so forth. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice, even what we just read, and can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, he said, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. But everybody have their own way of how they're going to do it. But he already gives the spirit to know what to expect. That's why when you know, then you can't really be uptight or upset when you already know. It's going to be a certain day or a certain way. Look at this is one in Galatians 3 and 28. There is neither Jew nor Greek. It's a good one. There's neither Jew nor Greek. There's neither bond nor free. There's neither male nor female. For ye are all one in Mashayach. Right? And if ye be Mashayachim, which is the Messiah's, Christ's, then are ye Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise. So, you know, people want to say, all you got to do is call on the name of the Lord. All you got to do is call on the name of Christ. And you're going to be saved. Without the law. Remember those same ones that say that, well, that's why you're under the law. No, we ain't under the law, we're under mercy and grace. Are you a Gentile or Jew? Who you fit here? Jew or Greek? They fit as the Greeks. But when you understand this Greek, these Greeks are Israelites. These Greeks are Israelites. It's called Hellenists. They took on the Greek customs and I mean, this what happened, people. I mean, this is not something that you gotta really go deep into to really understand. See, we understand this. We go to the book of Malachi, and we're in the Persian Mede Empire. Then we go to Matthew, it's the next book over. You turn the page over, you go from Malachi, the last prophet of the Old Testament, to Matthew. Now we're in the Roman Empire. So what happened to the Greek Empire? The Greek Empire is in the Apocrypha. It's in the Apocrypha. So now you see, that's why I say to the Jew or to the Greek, yeah, because the Israelites, remember it says, were mingled among the heathen and did what? Learned their works. Became heathen. Just like them. So, this has been a big problem with us. So when you go to First Maccabees, the first chapter, this is the beginning of the Greek Empire. This is what was missing from Malachi to Matthew, because you can't go from the Persian Mede Empire, because the Greeks took down the Persian and Medes. And Romans were the same people, Caucasians, but they were the so-called Italian Caucasians, took down the Greeks. You see what I'm saying? They changed the name from Greeks to Romans, really. But look at this. So when we go into the first book of the Maccabees, verse 1, it says, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, and they teach about Alexander the Greek in their history. The Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persian and Medes. So here we are. And he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. So this is between Malachi and Matthew. Alexander the Greek comes on the scene. He's taking down the Persian and Mede Empire. And when we went from the Persian Mede Empire right into the Greek Empire as slaves in captivity under them, and made many wars and and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. I mean, he came into power, Alexander the Greek, and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. And he made wars and brought them in subjection to the Greeks. The first Caucasian, so-called Caucasian, because they're the Edomites, their ruler, Idumea, means Edom, Rome. Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. See? So, looking at First Maccabees 1 and 7. So Alexander reigned, this Alexander the Greek, he reigned 12 years, from 20 years old to 32 years old, and then died. And his servants bare rule, every one in his place. He had 4 generals that he set up to be over his realm, that he had conquered. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils will multiply in the earth. That's why when you look at Proverbs 16 and 4, this is fulfilling prophecy. Proverbs 16 and 4. Does it just say evils multiply in the earth? Proverbs 16 and 4 says, the Most High have made all things for himself, yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. And Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He, the wicked, covered the faces of the judges there. If not, where and who is he? I just happen to have a Bible close by here. You open up the book, there it is. He covered up the faces of the judges there. That's supposed to be the Most High right here. See that? He covered up the faces of the judges thereof. Yahawashi was given the assignment of being the ultimate judge, right? There he is, a little boy in this book. There he is right there. The wicked covered the faces of the judges thereof. And here he is now as a grown man. He's blind here as a little boy. Now he's brunette. See? First Maccabees 3:48 says, and laid open the book of the law, which is the Bible, wherein the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their images. There it is right there. So we understand. So we still looking at why it says Jew and to the Greek. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're concentrating on. Because a lot of people look at that and they think, oh, it's talking about the so-called white people. What about everybody else? What about the Cambodians and the Vietnamese and Chinese and Japanese and the Eskimos and the South Pacific Islanders? What about all of them people? Nobody really, you think about them at all? You understand? It's saying what it's saying and why it's saying what it's saying. Without understanding, you just, you're lost. Going back to Galatians 3 and 28, so you don't forget why we here. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female. For ye all are all one in Mashayach, or Bahashama Mashayach Yahawashi, right? But we're looking at there is neither Jew nor Greek. So if the Greeks are so-called white people, then what about everybody else? Everybody else is not no Jew. So you're talking about the Israelites and the Caucasian people only? No. You gotta understand. That's why we were called heathens. So it says evils multiplied in the earth when they came into power, as it is written. Just reading what it says. It says in verse 9, and after his death, after Alexander, this is 1 Maccabees 1 and 9, they all put crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. And there came out of them a wicked root. Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus, the king who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. See? Now, this is why I'm getting into, remember I told you when it says Greek because Israel became Hellenized. It's a word that means we took on the customs as the Israelites of the Greeks. Now here we go, this one is started. Verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men. Wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So let's go make a covenant, a contract, an agreement with the heathen. Because since we left them, we had much sorrow. Since we ain't been around them, we start following what they were doing, we had much sorrow. Listen. So this device pleased them well. Then certain other people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. You think they become heathen? He gave them license to be wicked as the heathen, to do the same thing that the heathens was doing. Oh yeah. See? That's when they became Hellenized. This is between Malachi and the New Testament. This what fits in right here, the books of Malachi. I'm showing you the books of the Maccabees after Malachi. Now you can read all of this going through, but you see we did some really foul things. And we really go over this during the time of the Feast of Lights, will be coming near I think the end of the 11th month, somewhere around there. And we'll go over all of this, and you'll see that this is what the Maccabees, Judas Maccabees and his brothers and the armies that he had, and redeeming our temple back to us. It goes right into it. We're going to continue on this. Let's go to 2 Maccabees. Showing you how we just became wicked, just like them. 2 Maccabees 6 and 6. You see I have it underlined here for you right there. It says, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts. See? Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So that's why you see there's neither Jew nor Greek. Because it says, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, the feast days of the Most High, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So you were a Jew over here. You were Greek. In the Greek Empire. See? And that's what they did. Look at verse 9. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present misery. See? It's misery. What they did. For there were 2 women brought who had circumcised their children. They said it was unlawful for us to circumcise our children on the 8th day, the boys, whom when they had openly led around about the city, the babies hanging at their breasts, they tied the babies, they tied a rope around their breasts and had the babies hanging from their breasts. For there were 2 women, this is verse 10, brought, who had circumcised their children, whom when they had openly led round about the city, the babes hanging at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall, threw them off the wall. And others that had run together into caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly, being discovered to Philip, were all burnt together, because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day. You hear that? That's the Sabbath day, the most sacred day. And you keep on reading on, it's just too much. It's just, that's why you see here, in Galatians 3:28, there is neither Jew nor Greek. So our people, just like our people right now, Americanized. They're Americans. They love it so. What brother said, what's your nationality, brother? What's your race? What's your race, brother? I explained to him. He said, I'm American. 63 different identities I have to this day of who we are as a people. Straight up. So I said, there's neither Jew nor Greek. Because they're the same. Same people. They've just been Hellenized. You know? They were the Israelites or the Jews living as Greeks. So you see this in Galatians 3:28, there's neither Jew nor Greek, same people. And we can relate. I know some of you can relate. All you do is look at your family members. Look at how they eat everything. They ain't following the dietary law. You tell me you're supposed to eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, catfish, and all the things that eat boo-boo, they still do it. You tell them you got to keep the Sabbath day holy. They're still doing things contrary to keeping the Sabbath day holy. They'll go to church on the first day and still don't follow what it says you're supposed to do as a Sabbath day. They follow religions. And that's the problem that we have. And it's not getting better. It's getting worse.